Okay, originally I want to do an animation on this, but uh, this is too good to pass up for a short amount of time. Maybe I'll do an animation version of this later on in life. But for now, here's a story of a dream that I had a couple of nights ago by the time I upload this video. This will be uploaded on both YouTube and Vidlii on the same day, so both audiences of that will be satisfied. So, for those that don't already know already, I am part of the fanime community on YouTube. And slowly but surely, I kind of want to start up a bit of a fanime community on Vidlii, so then there'll be more fanimators of variety. But that is not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to talk about a dream that's fanime related. Well, magical girl fanime related, but still fanime related nonetheless. It's also related to a series, well, a children's show that, my boyfriend Afro Otaku really liked, Thomas the Tank Engine, because something about it kind of gives me that vibe. So, in my dream, I was just doing my usual thing, looking up fanime on YouTube. And then I came across something that looks like a cross between those humanoid Thomas the Tank Engine fan arts and the magical girl fanime. Honestly, something about that fanime in my dream looks like something that came out of 2007 or 2008. Cause I was getting all the vibes that it's from 2007 to 2008, at least in my dream. And like with every magical girl fanime, or just magical girl anime as a whole, of course, there's like a lot of transformation for all the characters. And don't think the guys are excluded from this either. Some dudes even have their own magical girl transformations as well. Think back to that one magical boy anime that came out a few years ago. Whether you like it or not is kind of up in the air, but, you know, hopefully bringing that up would get my point across. What is interesting though is that there was both one guy and one girl and they transformed, or basically fused, into one character. And that was played up as a magical girl sequence. Try to think the type of fusions you see in Steven Universe or Dragon Ball Z, and combine that with magical girl elements. And to those that are thinking to themselves, Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, I say take a listen to this next thing I'm about to tell you. One of the characters in that fanime in my dream has like a sentient plant toy thing. Like the sentient plant toy was like a cross between like the Wigglers and like the piranha plants from the Mario games. So, why did I bring that up, you may ask? Well, because the sentient toy thing that I brought up also has its own magical girl transformation. Now, at this point, this all may sound weird, but I think during the point of my dream, I think I was like past the point of not being freaked out because I was so used to all the things that I saw in the fanime community. However, there is that one thing that did weirded me out during like, the whole dream that's like on the more technical side of things. So, the episode I was watching, it was all separated into 3 parts. Which makes sense, cause in the olden days of YouTube, each fanime has to be separated into parts. So, it was the first 2 parts in that dream. You know, it was all standard stuff. And the first 2 parts had like basic, not that great voice acting. You know, it was kind of like very low quality voice acting, but it was standard for fanime back in the day, so I was at least forgiving for that. And then we hit the motherlode, the 3rd part. You wanna know something about the 3rd part in my dream? It had actual good voice acting! Yeah! I am not shitting you. The 3rd part of the fanime episode that I watched had legit good voice acting. So shit went from 0 to 100 real fast in the 3rd part. You know, when I more talk about this out loud, the more my priorities are kind of a little bit fucked up. Like, I was able to accept the cross between like humanoid Thomas the Tank Engine and magical girls. I was able to accept the fact that 2 characters fused into one to become one person as a magical person. I was able to accept the fact that a sentient toy had turned into a magical girl. but top quality voice acting in the third part when it looked like a 2007 fanime? What the fuck? But anyways, that was it. Hope you liked the story. I would say this, after re-listening to this whole recording. Some ideas related to the fanime that I watched in my dream doesn't really sound like a bad idea. It sounds like a pretty decent idea, if I'm quite honest. However, if there's one element that I would probably remove, it would probably be the Thomas the Tank Engine aspect. Now, I have nothing against this show, far from it. But I have not really grown up with it, so, yeah. I know a couple of my friends, especially my boyfriend, grown up with it, it's just that I have not. And another thing is that I kinda don't want to get sued. What do I mean by that? Well, there's a little fanime back in the day called Care Bear Stars. It was going well for a bit of a while, but sadly the creator was not able to go with it because I think he got a little bit in trouble by the cookie jar company. Now I know what you're all thinking, there's a lot of Tokyo Mew Mew fanimes on YouTube, so why does Care Bear Stars get the lower end of the stick? Well, I don't really know exactly. I think it's because of the fact that a lot of Japanese companies aren't really familiar with Western fan works of their own works. But I think I kinda derailed this enough. I hope you enjoyed this story.